Good evening. Welcome to the Feathered Cottage Adventures. I'm Dee, and this is our Wednesday night in the Word. We're studying Women of the Bible. We'll be doing chapter 8 tonight. Um, I appreciate you all joining me. Uh, I just will give a few minutes for some of our Bible study members to join us. Uh, excuse my hair, it's raining, and it does whatever it wants to when it's humid out. Hello to whoever's joined us and welcome. So glad to have you tonight. Uh, Tonight's going to be a little longer than it was last week. I apologize for cutting it so short last week, but it just got dark on us and nobody could really see what was going on. So I cut it short and spent the last evening with my daughter and son-in-law and grandbabies. So who's joined us? Well, whoever you are, welcome and thank you. And thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Um, Hi, Myra. How are you tonight, honey? Oh, good. Do you have any prayer requests? Seriously. Let me shut my phone down. Sorry about that. It was a telemarketer. They drive me insane. I know it's a job, but I hate them calling me. Unspoken? Gotcha. Uh-huh. Spoken. Got you down, honey. Understand at times are just God knows what's going on, and so that's good. Thank goodness He does know what's going on. Well, I have prayers for myself. Um, oh, well, thank you. It was so good to see him. It's been, I think, 5.5 months. Well, December 21st, since I really got to spend any time with him. And so, it was like 5.5 months. So I was definitely ready to see him, and we had a good time. We really did. Um, it was good seeing my daughter and my son-in-law, and so I'm just very thankful that Corona listed a little bit around here and allowed them to come. So we're slowly doing good. Yeah, I am too. It's been hard during this coronavirus, and I don't want to give it to them. And they were having it where they're from, and then we got it really bad here because where we are is the third largest city right now in Kentucky, and so it made it very scary. And I definitely was not going to give it to them. So, excuse my hair; it's raining, and it was looking really nice. We're in Kentucky right now. We are actually leaving. Um, I guess Monday. Leaving Kentucky. And so I have to get everything packed up. I'm going to try to do a video tomorrow on how we prepare to leave. And we are actually taking the camper to where we bought it. The bedroom air conditioner's gone out, and they've got to fix that. And then some other things they're going to be working on. So we're leaving the camper for a week, possibly 2 weeks in Tennessee where we bought it. And then um, we're doing a little traveling. I'll tell you all about that next week because the live will be from there next week, um, where we're going. Oh, I'm so tired of the rain. It's supposed to rain let's see, Thursday and Friday, and it's supposed to be really pretty all weekend, which is a really good thing because pulling the camper out make it a lot easier. But I've been wanting to do a camper video, and I haven't, but I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow, mainly so I can remember where I had stuff. But I'll try to get it done tomorrow or Friday, and then have it up next week. But yeah, we're getting ready to move on, so it's it's different because this will be the first time we've relocated in this camper. So it'll be totally different than ever was in the other camper. And I don't have everything ready. I'm just got to get it all done. My husband keeps saying, "You'll get it done, you'll get it done." And I'm just like, "Oh," but it'll work out. So, where are you, Myra? I can't remember. Pennsylvania or North Carolina? North Carolina. Okay. Yeah, our cousins. That's right. You don't live real far, I don't believe, from our cousins that live in just out of Raleigh, in Wake Forest. But I think you're pretty close to them, if I remember correctly. I think it may just be uh, us three. And thank you, whoever else gave me thumbs up. I appreciate it very much. Um, oh, you're further south? Okay. Okay. I love North Carolina. We actually spent our honeymoon at Holden Beach, and absolutely loved it. We've been trying to make a trip back there. We didn't get back there last year because we went to Mexico instead. But hi. Oh, I thought she was moving to Virginia. Okay, you're in Charlotte. Oh, okay, okay. Well, we hope we hope to get out there this summer. So if we get out there, I'll look you up. I'll let you know when we're coming, and maybe we can meet up or something. That would be fun. Um, I love. Okay, I don't know why in my mind I thought she was in California. I'm just. I'll be honest with you. I am so stir crazy right now. Just trying to make sure that we get everything because we're leaving the camper at the dealership for the repairs. We will be, I keep teasing my husband, we'll be homeless and we'll be staying in a hotel or at our daughter's, or we're not really sure where we're staying right now because we don't know if this next job starts now or if it starts the 15th or exactly when. We'll know more by the time we take the camper down to get fixed. But it's just playing it one day at a time right now. And so I keep teasing him, we're homeless, but we're really not. But the camper will be being repaired. And that's the good thing with Grand Design. And that's one reason we picked this particular camper is that Grand Design, the manufacturer, is really good at. Um, they are in Tennessee, um, and if they're not where we're going or where we think we're going, um, we'll stay at our daughter's house. So we've got some place to live. We just we're not going to be in our camper, which seems really weird. I mean, we've only been in this camper since the first part of April, but it feels like home, and it's just weird when you go away and leave your home somewhere else. So, but we'll be back in it. They just got to get the new air conditioner and some other things fixed for us. Um, some of it's not going to get fixed right away just because of Corona. The Hi Susan, welcome. How are you tonight? And do you have any prayer requests? We'll have somewhere to stay for sure, Myra. Um, I found it. Goodness. There's a little microphone on the screen, and somehow I must have hit that. So now can you all hear me? Okay, good. Phew, that's crazy. So how are you tonight, Bella? Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I didn't know that little mic was on the screen, and somehow I must have hit it. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. Um, well, Naomi got to do the Bible study, and Bella, do you have any prayer requests? I hope Zeta gets on tonight. I'm really uh, wondering about the closing of Hobby Lobby, and I'm hoping she maybe has some insight. I hope they're not like closing for permanently. Oh, wonderful, Susan. Thank you. You can help me out then. I don't think my daughters will be on tonight. Their children, um, well, Mary Liz's children are fixing to go to their other parents, so she's having to get everything ready for that. And she might surprise me and be able to get on. I don't know. And then my younger daughter, they're got some activity tonight, so I don't think she'll be on. But again, she might surprise me too. Who knows? You never know when you're in different parts of the country. Um, it was good, and you know, I just I know the Lord's let each of us be born in a different time and different place. Oh, really? Bath and Body's closing too. Wow. I know Pier One's going out of business. Um, and then I heard Hobby Lobby was closing, but I don't know if I wasn't able to decipher if it's like closing permanently or if it's just closing all the stores during the corona. And I haven't had time to go. So I don't know anything. I know a lot of the items that I was wanting to get online are no longer available. So I don't know if that's because they are closing or, exactly what the deal is there. But I guess we'll find out before long. But it said that they had a employee meeting and let the employees know. Okay, just a few stores for bed and bath. Bed and bath. Did I say that wrong? It was on the news. It was on my Google feed that they were closing. That some store had violated the state mandate of closing, and so I guess they got in trouble for that. And then it said that they were closing all stores. So I don't know, and they were furloughing their employees. So I don't know what that means, if they're closing permanently or if they're just closing during Corona. I don't know, but I was hoping that tonight maybe Davita could share the inside with us, since she would have been at one of those employee meetings. But yeah, find out, Bella, because I was just like, oh no, they can't close Hobby Lobby. I love Hobby Lobby. And I don't think that they're in any financial trouble or anything. I think it's just something. I don't know if she's not on Wednesday night now, because she works on Thursday nights. So, but she always comes on a little bit late. Like closed just for Corona or closing permanently, Bella? See, I don't know. But if you look on Google, and Google Hobby Lobby closure, it there's an article about it. So I was just like, oh no no no, that's my favorite. That's probably my favorite store. Huh. Yeah, well, I see. I don't know what it didn't say which store or which state or whatever that broke the violation. It just said that one of the stores stayed open during the shutdown. And so I can't figure out if they're just, kind of like, well, if you're going to misbehave, I'm just going to shut all of you, or what. And like here in Kentucky, they've opened the state back up to be able to go in the mall and that kind of stuff. So I don't know, and I haven't gone over to Hobby Lobby to be able to see if they're open here or not. It would have just opened Tuesday, yesterday. Wow, yeah, yesterday. So no, Monday. I'm sorry. So I don't know yet. But yeah, find out for us if you can, Bella. That would be great because I sure don't want them to close, but I don't know. They might be. Um, well, I'm going to get us started if we don't. Susan, did you say you didn't have any prayer requests? Or that you did? I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Well, I thought I just don't want to miss you. Bella, do you have any? Well, next week's lesson or next week's study, I'm not sure where I'll be, but you all will find out. So it's going to be a little road trip for everybody somewhere. I don't know if we'll be in Ohio or if we'll be at the kids' house. I'm not really sure. So we'll all find out next Wednesday as soon as we know. But we will be taking our camper in for repair. There's just a few things that need repair. The biggest thing is that the air conditioner went out, and we've got to get that fixed. Like it's supposed to be 85 here Friday, and it's getting too warm to not have air. So we've got to get that fixed. But so I'm giving up my home for a week or so. But next week's lesson will be on the potter's wife. No. Yeah. So it'll be different. Oh, cool. So it's just closing stores during Corona right now, Bella? Yeah, because I was just like freaked out. And one of my friends here in the campground, she loves to go to Hobby Lobby. And she's like, no, but I don't know. You'll have to Google the story that was on Google. Let's see, they did stay open when they were supposed to close all the time. If you have a Hobby Lobby open room, they have orange tags that one. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I may need to go over there tomorrow. Because ours should be open. They've opened up the stores. They have not opened playgrounds or something else. I can't remember what the other thing is yet. But they're slowly, we're doing that phase in of things opening. So I know the stores are open, restaurants are open, but it's at, I think, 30% of what their normal occupancy would be. So, yeah, I don't know. Kind of old news. Well, the new article that I read was this weekend when I read it. And then today, of course, was about Pier 1 going out of business. So they've got a lot of cute things on sale, but they don't have that big a sale for household, like linens and napkins and that kind of stuff. It was only 10% off. And so I was like, nah, I'm not going to worry about it right now. I have more than I need probably, but I do like to get that kind of stuff because I can still use that here. Oh, well, no, this is a new one, Bella. This was just recently that it was on Google. Okay. As Susan said, this was a good one. It see, made you think of how God turns bad into good. And it to me, at least, that's what I got from it. Um, and I thought it was really fitting right now with everything bad going on in the country. Um, I'll have to find it and see um, if I can find. I can't do it with my live right now, or I'll mess myself up. But it was on at some point this week uh, about them, and they were furloughing their employees and that kind of stuff. So I wasn't really sure. If Davita gets on, we'll be able to find out for sure. But we're going to go on. Let's start out in prayer real quick, and then we will start our lesson. And we only have one prayer. Well, two prayers. That was just on recently. I mean, like within this weekend, Bella. Excuse me. Okay. Well, I'm not going to argue with that. That's good to me. That's good to me. What is it, Bella? What is it? Hey, Mary Liz, you did get on. I didn't think you would get on tonight. Okay, prayer for body pain and energy. Yes, I want to know, Bella. I want to know. Or I'm going to have to call you after class. Oh, Bella, that's wonderful. I'm so happy. They rerun, I need to. Oh, that's cool, Mary Liz. Thank you. Yeah, at least you got somebody, and you can get maybe at least something done, be a step closer than it is right now. So, yay. You may be in America before you know it. That is awesome. I am so excited. Well, you'll definitely have to let us know as soon as you get more news, Bella. Oh, I'm so excited. Yay. Okay, I'm going to put us in prayer. That is cool. In that Independence Day. That's significant. You'll be independent in the United States. Oh, that would be awesome. Oh, I hope. Okay, I'm going to put that, Bella, as one of our prayers. Passport for Angela. Okay, I've got it. That is a prayer. Well, let's go into prayer real quick, and then we'll get started on the Bible study, and then we can have some chit chat since we've already been on 25 minutes. Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, we come here tonight with grateful hearts. We thank you for the many blessings you've brought into our lives, and the blessings you're going to bring before our lives to come. We ask that you be with Myra. She has unspoken prayer requests tonight. You know her needs and her wants, Lord, and we ask that you help her with those. We ask you to be with Mary Liz with her body pain. The fibro is kicking and this weather's not helping. So we ask you to help her with that and to lift her energy, Lord, so she can get the things done she needs to do. And we ask for Bella that she can get the passport needed for Angela, that they will be able to come to the United States very quickly. We ask you to be with each one of us, that we have an open heart and open eyes and ears to learn from your word tonight, Lord. And we thank you for loving us. In Jesus' name, amen. Bella, be nice. Okay, so this tonight is Tamara, the daughter-in-law of Judah. Her name means date tree or palm tree. Her character, driven by one overwhelming need, she sacrificed her reputation and nearly her life to achieve her goals. The scripture readings are Genesis 38 and Matthew 1:3. It says Judah got a wife for and her name was Tamara. Amen, Bella. We all love Susan. I don't know much about her governor, but we all love Susan. Let's see. But was wicked in the Lord's sight, so the Lord put him to death. Then Judah said to Owen, lie with your brother's wife and produce offspring for your brother. But Owen knew that the offspring would not be his. So whatever he laid with his brother's wife, he spilled his semen on the ground to keep from producing offspring for his brother. What he did was wicked in the sight of the Lord, so he put him to death also. Judah then said to his daughter-in-law Tamara, live as a widow in your father's house until my son Sheila, I think, grows up. For he thought, he may die too, just like his brothers. So Tamara went to live in her father's house. When Tamara was told her father-in-law was on his way to Timid to shear his sheep, she took her widow's clothes off, covered herself with a veil to disguise herself, for she saw that Sheila had grown up, and she was not given to him as his wife. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, not really realizing she was his daughter-in-law. He went over to her by the roadside and said, come sleep with me. So he slept with her, and she became pregnant by him. When the time came to Tamara to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb. See, I got to get caught up. Snow cover. He's a dictator. In the communist country from the You're so funny. We're just talking about Hobby Lobby, Mara. Whether it's closing or not, but Bella thinks it's not. So we've got that. And then Bella found out that she may be able to get Angela's passport. So we were all excited. Okay, it says Tamara's life and times. Prostitution. And abhorrent as abhorrent as it seems to us, prostitution was actually an expression of worship in the ancient Near East. Pagan people often believed the fertility gods granted them blessings to those who practiced cult prostitution. The sacrifice and the payments for the use of the cult prostitution brought huge amounts of money to the coffers of the god or goddesses being worshipped. The sexual intercourse itself has symbolized the hopeful for fraternal and abundance of harvest. Hi, Blue Fly. How are you tonight? Have you got moved yet, honey? And do you have any prayer requests? Well, I'm right here. You did. I may have thought it was a telemarketer. I'll be honest with you. I have been bad. If people don't leave me a message, I don't call them back. That sounds horrible, but I'm like, we've had so many telemarketers, and we're not even, residents of the state anymore, but we're getting 100 calls. Even my husband's getting them. So give me another call and leave a message, and then I'll call you back. How's that sound? Just say, hey, this is Bev, and then I'll know it's you, and I'll call you back. But I'm so sorry. Did you have any prayer requests, by the way, Bev? You want us to pray for her? For Sarah. Okay, I will add her to our prayer request. We've done the opening prayer. When we do the closing prayer, I will definitely add her. That's horrible. I hope she doesn't have it. Okay, we will pray for Sarah. For sure, for sure. Okay, well, I'm going to go on and finish this. It says, Judah, a widower who had only recently recovered from his grief, Genesis 38:12, traveled to Tamara during sheep shearing time to watch his own sheep be sheared. It may be that he saw Tamara, that when he saw Tamara, he looked, I'm sorry, I lost my place. It may be that when he saw Tamara, he took for the shrine prostitute and had intercourse with her to ensure a good crop of wool. This, of course, in no way justified Judah's act, but it does shed some light on his possible motives. Shrine prostitutes usually kept themselves heavily veiled before and during the act of intercourse, as an attempt to create illusion that the participant was actually engaged in a sexual act with the goddess herself. This practice worked for Tamara's favor, giving her the perfect disguise so that her father-in-law would never recognize her. The prostitute was the imaginary use often by the biblical prophets to describe Israel's wayward, their proneness to false gods. They saw God as the husband of Israel, her keeper, and her true love. Whenever the Israelites turned from the true God to false gods, they prostrated themselves. So this is a strong picture, but it's an accurate one of turning away from God, who truly loved them and was willing to care for them, watch over them, and if only they would remain true to him. It says, our life and times. Tamara's story takes us by surprise, repulses us. We recoil from the sordid details of prostitution and find little to inspire us. Yet stories like Tamara are what make the Bible so believable. Who would ever invented such a thing, then recorded it not only in the historical narrative, but also in the lineage of the Messiah? Only God of the eternal surprise, the God who takes the unfit, the desperate, the profane, and uses them to his eternal and holy purpose. And that was just, oh, hi, Gloria. How are you tonight? And do you have any prayer requests? How old is Sarah, Bev? So neither she nor he realized. He did not realize it was his daughter-in-law. She knew what she was doing. No, it wasn't okay. She pretty much tricked him. Mary Liz. For the world. Gotcha. She wasn't being tested so much as she's just 24. She wasn't really being tested. Or at least I didn't take it that way. Now let me clarify that. I didn't take it she was being tested. She was angry that her father-in-law, if you were married and then a spouse died, in those times you went to the next brother. Well, the father-in-law had not given her to his third son. The other two were dead, and she had not had any children. So she was supposed to go to, oh, bless her heart. Oh, Bev, we will definitely be praying for her. Oh, I'm so sorry, Bella. I'm sorry. I thought you were asking why Tamara was being tested. Has she been exposed to somebody who's had it? Corona, Beverly? Well, while you answer that question, I'm going to go on with question 1 out of the Bible study. Oh, goodness, bless her heart. Well, we'll definitely have her in our prayer request in just a few. It says, Tamara's legacy in Scripture. Read Genesis 38. It says, Oman was supposed to father children through Tamara for his brother This is the same act as one of the kinsmen redeemer, found in the book of Ruth. The closest of kin was to father a child to carry on the line of the deceased husband. Although the act may seem offensive to us today, what do you think God's purpose was in decreeing such a plan? And I think it was to keep the lineager, but I think in Tamara's case, it was to be the lineage of Jesus. Let's see. So technically, she wasn't married to the next one. No, she was. The first brother died because he displeased the Lord. Then the second brother, I don't remember his name now. He made sure she didn't have a child because he didn't want it to count as his older brother who has deceased's child. So the Lord was displeased there. So he died. And there was one more son, and Onan was supposed to give that son when he became old enough to the daughter-in-law, and told her until he became old enough to go to her father's house and live as a widow. And then he would give her, well, that third son had become old enough and he had not given her to him. So she just took it upon herself and went and had 2 babies, twins, by the father. If that makes any sense. You'll have to read Genesis 38. It tells you all about it, Mary Liz. Okay, that sounds great, Myra. Thank you, because I don't want it closed. But at any rate, I said for the lineager. Number 2 is none of the men in Tamara's life fulfilled their responsibilities to her, including her father-in-law, Judah, Genesis 38:11. Describe how you think Tamara must have been feeling throughout the course of the events. Angry, ignored, dishonored, belittled, ashamed. And I said, lied to, cheated out of children, unable to trust her family by marriage, and ashamed. Because, once you were married, you had trouble finding another spouse. In today's world, you still had a lot of trouble finding a spouse the first time, much less the second time. And she wanted children, and that was a big thing back then. What did you put, Susan? Betrayed? Yeah, he definitely betrayed her. There's no doubt about it. Before it was normal, you could have more than one wife, and you could do all this stuff. That was the culture back then. Of course, it's illegal as all get out today, and absolutely disgusting today for it to take place. Yeah, I think so. Um, so, we got to remember this was the culture back then, which none of us would like it now. Um, she said, it says, number 3, why was Tamara so desperate to have a child? And I said, I feel like one was to love her, one, the children were an external example to people of God's plan. And, you were considered something wrong with you if you were barren. And so I think she didn't want people to look on her badly. Yes. Yes, Mary Liz. Yeah, I mean, that was how, God allowed it back then, but then he did change the law that you could only have one woman and or one wife, and you couldn't have two or three wives and all this stuff. Yes, and if you notice that when you read through scripture, um, it'll tell you almost always the sons that a woman had. And that's why the women, if it says, and a daughter such and such, stick out so big because there's 1,000 sons listed, but not too many daughters. And so you wanted to have that boy, to carry on the name and to help with the farming or whatever you were doing as a profession. You wanted that son, and that was to bring honor, and if you didn't have it, you felt disgraced. That's why Sarah for so long wanted a child and gave her maiden. I mean, this is through history back then that this was how they did things. Today, if you have a daughter, that's cool, and if you have a son, that's cool. But it was different back then. Um, let's see. Number 4, are you or someone you know desperate to have children? How do ordeals of infidelity today compare to what Tamara was willing to endure in ancient times? And I said that I feel like our daughter, or actually two of our daughters, our oldest and our second oldest, both had infertility problems or fertility problems. I'm sorry. They both were able to have children. Yes, Bev. Yes, Gloria. The Ten Commandments are what changed a lot of it. But this was, you got to remember this was before all that. Um, my answer to the infertility, I think people will still go to any length to have a child, not as in murdering or something like that, but they will try every resource available, and they didn't have the resources back then. So I feel like Tamara was willing to do what she could do with the resources available to her back then. Today, my daughters took shots and all this other stuff, and were on different medications, and finally did get pregnant. But they were willing, to do anything. And Bella, I think you understand this simply by the adoption. That was the route that my two daughters were fixing to go, was through adoption. Because they wanted a child, period. And it wasn't to carry the family name on, it was just they wanted a child. Um, yeah, probably. But it just, I know it sounds weird. It was just how it was back then. That you became the wife of your brother, or it was passed on if the brother died without leaving children. Oh yeah, back then it was always the woman. I mean, that look at Henry VIII. How many wives did he kill because they didn't get a boy, and it was really his fault. It wasn't any of the wives' fault. Yes, Susan, they did, and they were shunned. I mean, they weren't respected or anything. I had to do fertility too. So I did what I. That's right, Mary Liz. You're right. I forgot. You did do fertility. No. Other men to have a baby by. Yes, or you can, people have surrogate parent or surrogate mothers. There's a lot of things available to us today that were not available to them back then. The surrogacy, that's what Sarah did. We do the same thing today, but then we don't marry the surrogate. But back then they did, Okay, you repeated yourself. Okay, Mary Liz. I was like, what? But just the desperateness of wanting a child. Yeah, you will do what is ethical, but you will keep trying till you are able to achieve somehow getting a child, whether you give birth to it yourself, you adopt it, or you foster it or whatever. Women today do the same thing, and men. Um, let's see. Number 5. What do you think of Judah's response to the news that Tamara was pregnant? 38:20 Genesis 38:24. It was a double standard for him to condemn her actions, but not his own. And I said, uneasy about this child, embarrassed by his own actions, that he didn't keep his promise, so she was led to do this so that the heritage continued. Yeah, when I miscarried my first child and was told that I would have difficulty having children, you feel less a woman, and it's it's not social pressure on women today or religious pressures or any of that as there was back then to have children. So I can only imagine how they felt just by what I felt when I kept having miscarriages. It's sad and it's hard. It's very hard on you. Yeah. And Mary Liz volunteered to carry my stepdaughter Allison's a baby if it went to in vitro fertilization. And I think you did for somebody else too, didn't you? If I remember right, Mary Liz. But people want children, and that's a good thing, or the world wouldn't be existing. But it happens still today. Number 6, do such double standards still exist today? How are they common as they were, say, 10 or 20 years ago? And I said yes. Yes and no. Women still have made a name for themselves if they sleep around, but they're not as badly thought of or thought as a prostitute. When I was growing up, if you slept around, you weren't a good girl. And so you didn't want people to know if you were doing that. But today, people have children and sleep around, and it's not as much a punishment as it was, over 20 years ago. But 20 years ago, I still think it was looked down on more than it is today. But I think it carries the same weight as it did 100 years ago. It's just we look at it differently, or we try to be less judgmental today as they used to be. It used to be here in Kentucky, you went to the halfway house if you were not married, and if the boy would not marry you and you got pregnant, you went to the halfway house, had your child there and put it up for adoption, and then came home as if nothing happened, and nobody was to know that, you'd had this child. I can remember that when I was in high school, that taking place. So, that's been granted 30 years ago, but it still was a very powerful thing back then that doesn't have as much. You don't hear people going to the halfway house now. If they need to, who knows, and would do just about anyone. I would be, how others have felt honored. Yes, I would. Well, I can't now. I'm too old now, but I think they're very it's the same day. Yeah, Bella. I mean, not as badly though. And now I may be out of touch because my age group, at least let me reword that. I started to say that wrong. I don't know anybody in my age group um, out sleeping around. I'm sure that there is a lot in my age group that are, but I just don't personally have any friends that are doing that. Um, you know, so I am probably a bad judge of character and everything for right now, just because my life is different than some others. Um, but I'm sure that it is happening. I think there's probably a lot of people my age even that have been either married and widowed or divorced and looking, and starting over. So I'm sure it is taking place. I personally don't hang around with anybody that is living that life. Um, let's see. Number 7. When you consider what Tamara did in offering herself, disgusted as a prostitute to her father-in-law, do his words in verse 26 surprise you? Why? Explain what Judah meant by his words. Let me get to his words so that so I can tell you what he said. Um, well, I'd marked the wrong page. His words were, and Judah acknowledged them and said, she's been more righteous and just than I, because I did not give her to Shelah, my son, and he did not cohabit with her again. Um, I think that I put down that he broke his promises of his word that she would become his youngest son's wife, and that she was just in doing what she did because he was not the one following tradition nor keeping his promise. Bella, I understand that. That's happening to one of my friends who she too, it's like, what is wrong with you? And married people, I know when I got my divorce, friends that I was really close to, or I thought I was close to, that are married, didn't want to associate anymore. It's like you're going to steal their husband or something. I mean, it was crazy. And that wasn't the case at all. But yeah, it is a sad thing. If they do sleep around, too, with younger males. Those our age are all. You may be right, Gloria. It is, and Gloria's single at this stage in her life, or in the past several years, because she chose to be single. Now, she didn't choose initially to be single, but she has chose to remain single, and nobody should be judging her on that. I give you props, Bella. I totally give you props. Uh, certain. You probably are right, Mary Liz. I know you enjoy being single, but there'll come a time that you'll want, I think. And I mean, you've mentioned it in some of your videos too, that there's a time that you would like somebody to go out with and, possibly in the future have a adult relationship with, have marriage and stuff again. But, it's hard, especially like in Bella's situation where you truly loved your husband and he truly loved you. It's very hard. I know when my stepmother, or my adopted mother, my aunt, whatever you want to call her, when she married my stepdad, it was very hard on her because she'd been widowed and she loved her deceased husband. And for her, it was trying not to compare the new husband to the old husband, um, to feel the same love that she did with, she had a battle there for a long time. Oh, well, I thought you did, Bella. I'm sorry. I swore that you had said that before. I know you'd like to date, but I mean, everyone's got to live what makes them feel blessed, feel safe. Um, and there's some people out there that are fine without a mate. They don't have a problem living their whole life that way. And then there's some people that are just absolutely, excuse me, are absolutely crazy to they feel like they have to have somebody in their life. So you can't judge either one of them. I think we're all different, and God knows our needs and our strengths and our weaknesses. So I think that if we're feeling we need a mate, then that's what we pray about. If we don't need a mate, then God knows that. It is, Gloria. You're right. It's hard to find a mate when you're set in your ways. Um, Yeah, it just, God's going to love us regardless. If we're married or if we're childless or if we've got 100 children, I'm sorry, if we've been married 100 times, as long as we've asked for forgiveness and don't continue to repeat the sins, that's what Jesus came to forgive us. God knew we weren't going to be perfect. And I'm thankful for that, very thankful. I'm trying to see where I was. Let's see. Okay, it says number 8. The story of Tamara is difficult. Did I already read this? It's difficult to digest. And there is no simple way to simulate what she did with our current way of thinking. Why would such a story ever be included in the inspired scripture? And I put, because it shows Jesus' lineage, and that he forgives, and that he loves, and that he protects. And he knew she had been dealt dirty by her father-in-law, and obviously she must not have had really great husbands to start with, the first two, because the Lord took both of them as a punishment, not so much how normal people pass away. um, and he answered her prayer that she had children, and he gave her two. So she really got children in one swoosh. um, what did you put, Susan? Amen. I think we're saying about the same thing, Susan. You know, God loves us, and He looks after us, and again, He knows our needs and our wants and our desires, and if they're in line with His will, then they'll be answered. The way we want them answered. Um, if they're not in line with His will, He's not going to do something that's going to hurt us. Um, it says here, read Matthew 1:3. What does Tamara's inclusion in the literature of Christ tell you about God's power of being good out of tragic events? And I said, He loves and forgives us and makes things happen that are good for us, even though we turn our back on Him or do something we shouldn't do. He's willing to forgive us and still love us and be with us. What did you put, Susan? I know you've done the study. I don't know. Has anybody else done the study besides Susan? Laura, did you get to? I wish comments stayed as fast as my asking questions because there's always a lull. Um, okay, honey, I just didn't want you to be left out if you had done it. Number 10. How has God worked out good? I'm sorry, let's see. How has God worked good out of bad things that have happened to you or to someone you know? Um, my answer was He blessed me with children, even though I had bad marriages. He blessed me with a husband. He's not perfect, and half the time I probably want to knock him out, but he's good to me in the other half, and I love him. I can't imagine being without him, even though I want to knock him out half the time. But he knew my feelings and my devotion and my desire in a marriage, and he's blessed me. He blessed me. It is right here. Can you read that, or is that backwards for you? It shouldn't. I don't think it will be. When you get it, just let me know, Bev. I'll hold it up there till you can finish writing it down or looking it up, whichever. But this is the book we're doing. Um, how many of you have where you can see something bad has happened in your life and God has turned it for good? Were you able to get that, Beverly? Are you saying that's how God turned it to good for you, Gloria, out of bad? Yeah, Mary Liz. Yeah, we've been blessed in that aspect, for sure. Um, I've got two daughters. Okay. I got two daughters that have been divorced, and two daughters that have not ever been divorced. And I think both of them have found their partner that they should have had to start with. Um, but I think when you've been divorced and you're able to get another partner, you appreciate that partner more, and you've learned, hopefully, from your mistakes of your other marriage. Well, that was all of chapter 8. Um, I can't wait to do next week's. Next week's key scripture is out of Genesis 39. So those that don't have a book, just read Genesis 39 and you'll be able to know what we're talking about, at least when we do next week's uh, lesson. And I need to mark this or I'll lose it. Oh, really? Over the government, Susan? Or because of that young man that's, I guess, still on the run? I haven't been able to watch the news. I haven't had time. I don't know if they've caught that young man that killed those people or not. His childhood friend. That's so sad. Let's see. Okay, I got you, Mary Liz. You're right. More than likely. Is she correct? Luke, Levi, I'll be okay. Gloria, um, I misunderstood you, I think. Oh, really? I need to turn the news on at 10 o'clock here tonight. Whoa. Oh, I definitely need. Oh, the one that they fired the four officers? Is that the same situation, Susan, or is this a different one for him? I know the video showed one officer with his knee on the gentleman's neck, and he died at the hospital. Cool. Why are they rioting? They fired him, and I think they're bringing charges, from what I understood. But I may have missed something. That's that's part of my course today. I've had a lot going on. Well, let me close this in prayer for those that. Uh, yes, yeah, yeah. You could see. I mean, the man was in there saying he couldn't breathe, and there was no need to. If you wanted to get on his shoulders, but not on his neck and stuff, that I feel like that was wrong. Personally, that's just my opinion. No judgment, please, by somebody else watching afterwards. No. Well, there's really no time. I feel like Bella. Right now, there isn't. This isn't the time, but I don't think it's right to put your knee on someone's neck and keep them from breathing, and especially when they're telling you that there's other ways to restrain somebody than using that kind of restraint. Um, I don't, and I hadn't heard what he had done, what caused him to be held down to start with. So I don't know the whole circumstances, but I just don't feel like that was aggressive restraint. I feel like, well, and his family, I can't blame them for being upset. Excuse me, I would be extremely upset. Yeah, that's what I know. This morning, I saw a little bit of it this morning, and at that time, they had not said anything either that I heard, Susan. It's just sad, very sad. People are gonna run to and fro and run crazy. I mean, the Bible talks about that, but this definitely is not the time that anybody needs it, especially our officers doing that. They need to be uh, held accountable as well. That they need to not um, abuse their authority. They need to still be respectable to be respected. I agree, Susan. This is there's no excuse. Oh, I thought it was just recently. Um, I may have misunderstood, Gloria. I thought it was recently that this had happened. Well, just like the young black man that was jogging, and the retired was he retired sheriff or jailer or something shot him and killed him. Because there had been break-ins in their neighborhood. That was just ridiculous. Um, just ridiculous. Yeah, he wasn't going to do any damage. Um, it's just I don't know. We've got to pray. We need to actually um, pray for the families of these people, of injured. I don't know how to word it. Okay, that's what I was thinking, that it happened just really recently. Okay, different one. Yeah, we've got that. Gloria asked for prayer for the world. We definitely need it. Okay, well, let us close in prayer real quick, and then we can stay on. Who wants to stay on and chat? It hasn't gotten dark on me tonight, so I can actually do that. Last week was bad. Yes, Bella. I hope they get him, because you just don't do that. Bella, you're cracking me up, but we will. Okay. We'll close out in prayer real quick, and then, like I said, we can continue chatting if we want. Dear Heavenly Father, we come here tonight with grateful hearts that you let us be born in this time, that we don't have to follow the customs that were in the Old Testament, and we give you just praise that women are able to have babies now that weren't able to have babies back then, and don't have to do things that as our study had Tamara doing. We thank you that we're learning how other women lived and the similarities of our life today as to the years past. We do ask for continued prayer, unspoken prayer by Myra. You know her situation, Lord, and we're trusting you to step in and take charge. For Mary Liz, for body pain and energy, just be with her, Lord, strengthen her and heal her. For Bella, that she will be able to get Angela's passport, Lord, and that everything will go smoothly in her move to the United States. For Beverly's friend Sarah, our friend's daughter Sarah, that she doesn't have COVID-19, and if she does have it, Lord, that she can get over it quickly and have full recovery with no problems or any side effects from it. For our world, as Gloria's asked, and our country, as Susan's asked, that we can heal, that we can come together as one, that injustice will be served to those that are creating it and causing it, Lord. We just ask you to be with the families of these people who have lost loved ones, whether it's from corona, for police brutality, I guess you would call it. Lord, just please be with their family and their friends. Please help put a stop to this. Be with the people in Minneapolis right now, that they remain safe. We ask you to please free the world of this awful virus right now, Lord, so that people can go about. But let us learn something from this, that we have to be reliant on you, Lord. You're the only one that can heal anybody. We just give you thanks, God, for your love and your forgiveness, and for Jesus dying on the cross for us. And thank you for loving us enough to stick around when we're not at our best, but still loving us. We just give you thanks and praise in Jesus' name. Amen. I know when it turned dark on us, Mary Liz. That's what I was saying. Have you gone back and watched it, Mary Liz? Have you watched yourself jumping back and forth? I had to watch it. It was funny. Sorry, my mouth's getting dry. Well, I think we've discussed everything during our study. I wish Davita would have gotten on. She hadn't gone on tonight. We're missing several people, I do believe. Now, Bev, have you got moved yet? Him and the one from California. She can come to. Oh, yeah. There you go. They can all be buddies, huh? Oh, goodness. Have you found a place to move to yet, Beverly? Oh, man. Bless your heart. Whew. Are you having it built, or is it one that was pre existing and you're just buying something that was newly built? Because, man, having something built for you, that's horrible. Okay. So we got a little bit of time. Now, where are you right now, Beverly? Oh, bless your heart. I'm gonna pray that you don't lose your mind. Oh, Davita got a new puppy. See, I'm so far behind. Okay, I thought you were in North Carolina. Now, are you near Raleigh? Because I think I got you and Myra. It's fun when you know what you're doing, Bella. You do that for a living. But man, when you got to make decisions. Well, you know that old saying, the nice thing about being insane is no one asks you to explain. So that was my tag forever, that no one was going to ask me to explain because I was insane. But yeah, and only the good day. Okay, you're the one right now. You live my cousin's, or our cousins, my husband's cousin, actually, blood cousin, lives in Wake Forest. Um, yeah, Babe, I'm so sorry that I didn't answer the phone. I didn't know that it was you. Definitely leave me a message and I'll call you back. I promise. I promise. I promise. Um, but so, oh goodness, you've got a lot. You've got a lot going on. You can show us your selections. Oh yeah, there you go. There you go. Bella'd be a good one to tell you if it's gonna work or not, since she knows all about this. Yeah, I'll give it to you, Bella. I think it's, you emailed me it, didn't you, Bev? Okay. She lives in North Carolina right now. I'm moving to Virginia. Do you mind us? You may not want to, Beverly, and if you don't, that's, anybody that has a channel totally understands. What part of Virginia are you moving to? Like, are you going to be near Susan? Not Susan, Liz, or Arlen, or any of them? Oh, it's Gainesville in Florida. Okay, Mary Liz, I love you. Have a wonderful night, honey. I'll see you this weekend. Yeah, I mean, that would be so cool if her and Liz could get together. Liz lives in Virginia, not too far out of Washington, I don't think. And I'm guessing. Bella would probably know more than I do. Um, and then Arlen lives in Spotsylvania. I guess that's the county, maybe. I don't know. I don't know Virginia very well at all, so I'm guessing where everything is. But I think you're going to be pretty close to Liz. Okay, just next to Washington. But that would be really neat for you and Liz to be able to meet up. Yes, she is pretty close to the coast. Bella. I should answer that. Should finish that sentence, huh? Aren't you near Myrtle Beach, Susan? Oh, Virginia Beach. Wrong beach. We got so many beaches. I've got the indigestion and I apologize. See, I wish that, oh my goodness, excuse me. I wish that we could go out that way, but the job is going to be north right now. So I can't go out that way right now. I want to. I would love to go do some traveling, but this is not the time to do that. But it will open back up. It'll just be a new norm. Well, I thought she lived near Myrtle Beach, not in Myrtle Beach, but just near. Okay, okay. I want to go. I would love to spend a summer just going down the East Coast. I would love it. I think it'd be so fun. But maybe we'll get to one day. Maybe. That's part of our dream. There's just so many interesting, from New England all the way down. It's like every area's got something the same and then something different. I haven't even got to watch your video, Beverly. Yes, Susan, and I love history. Actually, I think I'm going to do, maybe if time allows, I'm going to do a little a tour of historic things that are in Tennessee on our trip to Tennessee to take the camper back for repairs. So I'm hoping there's time. I haven't got to see it yet, Beverly. I'm sorry. I haven't got to watch YouTube at all. I mean, I'm so far behind on everything, and I haven't even had time to make a video. Well, I should say my husband and I tried to make a video, and it was a hot mess. It was funny, very funny. I know you're going to have a blast decorating the new house. Oh, I'm sorry, Susan. The parts of Virginia I've been to were very pretty. Very, very pretty. In fact, I think I have a shirt in there that says Virginia's for lovers. And we had our picture made by the state line. But the rest area. Well, you all are keeping up with these governors. I must be really far behind. But the wages should be in line, aren't they, Bev? We got you, Susan. I understood it at least. The B and the V are just too close. I think that's the difference. Like when we were in New Jersey, McDonald's was paying like $15 an hour. And I was like, wow, that's really crazy. And then I was like, but the cost of living is so expensive that they had to pay $15 an hour. Will be comparable to our minimum wage here in Kentucky. I think it's just different areas have a lot to do. Night, Myra. Thank you for joining us tonight. And I hope whatever your prayer is answered the way you want it, honey. I'm really getting worried about Dawn not getting on. You're right, Susan. You're right. It does dictate. Well, right now I'm already tired of the political campaigning. At least here in Kentucky for Senate, it's just they're bashing each other, um, and it's just sad. I'm like, tell me what you're gonna do. Don't tell me what your opponent is doing wrong. Just tell me what you plan to do for us. Which I don't even have a vote in Kentucky now, so I don't know why I care. But it just seems like there's more bashing going on than there is letting us know what they plan to help make it better. Yeah. Leesburg. I used to know somebody in Leesburg. I can't remember now who it is. I'd have to think on it. I'd have to think on it. Um, hmm. Now you got my mind spinning, Bev. I'm thinking real hard, but I can't remember. I've being in boarding schools for several years. Yes, it is, Gloria. I mean, it was expensive. Um, Gas and food. Some of the things were just crazy when my husband was working up there, and I flew up 3 times to go see him in that 6 months, and it was crazy. Wow, isn't that crazy? Well, they're building a new subdivision next door to the campground, and I got tickled because it says a 1,500 square foot home for under 200,000, but like there is literally just enough room between the two houses for a pickup to drive through. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're getting a small house, um, you're getting a really small yard, and you're paying, $200,000 for this. And I was just like, oh my gosh, and people are buying them already, and I'm just like, I'm I'm not so sure that I'm cut out for the city. $200,000. Are you asking me or Bever? Never mind, Gloria. I finished reading it. I'm sorry. Oh wow. Okay. The rebirth. Okay. So 600,000 to build a house with 400 square foot. Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like normal. I mean, even in Kentucky, to have a 4,000 square foot house, it's going to be at least five. So, I mean, being where that is, that's not crazy. Crazy. I mean, it's crazy to think you're spending that kind of money, but that's average pretty much. Yeah, 4,000 square foot is a very nice home, especially when you have children. It's very nice because they have room. Um, I don't know that I would need that big a house now and just to rattle around in by myself. Oh yeah, I can't wait to see her videos once it's done. But yeah, you need to do videos, Bev, of things that you're picking out. That would be really interesting. And get people's opinions on things that are stumping you. Do you like this tile or this tile? That would be really fun. You do. You do a lot of floors, but you do amazing. So you can have your craft room. you got a bonus room, tell it it's off territory to everybody else but you. That has now become your craft room. Well, depending on the age of your children, Bev, they can help you keep it clean. Well, I'm happy for you, Bev. I know it's a lot of stuff to get done, um, but it'll be worth it in the end, I think. I really do. And I'm happy for you. My hair is wild tonight. I apologize. I sure made my kids help. I used to tell them that I'm not the only one making the mess, that they can help clean up their mess at least. I'll clean up mine, you clean up yours. That's a good size house, Gloria. Like, that's about the perfect size right now. Um, like I said, these homes over here, they're 1,500 square foot. They didn't say how many bedrooms. I think you picked the floor plan. Um, I think it's 20. Oh, so yes, your children are definitely big enough to help you, Bev. Definitely. Um, how are they feeling about um, the move? Yeah, see, I think some. Well, I mean, I know I sound crazy, and Bella says I'm crazy, but I love this camper. For just Rodney and I, that's all we need. I don't need a whole lot of room. Um, it's just cozy enough that we have just what we need. Now the other camper, it wasn't big enough, but this camper is big enough, and I'm just happy as a lark in it. As soon as these things are repaired that we're having issues with, um, I'm gonna be just sitting on cloud nine. Yes, Bella, I'm crazy. You tell me I'm crazy. That you could not live in a smaller space. You did too. Tell me I'm crazy. No, I haven't, because I'm having to have things repaired. Um, like the air conditioners are out. There's uh, a floodlight and a porch light outside. They've gone out. My recliner isn't working correctly. Well, thank you, Bella. But I think I'm half crazy, but that's okay. That's just me. I'll take it and I'll accept it. But we've got about 14 things. We had a water leak, a bad water leak. First, it was the washer, and they had hooked a piece of the hose up wrong where it was supposed to go down the tube, and it went up. And so the water backed out all over my bedroom floor the day after we got it. And then they got that fixed, but then there still continued to be water. And come to find out, it was the tube underneath the camper that comes up that the washer connects into. It was crimped, but it wasn't crimped all the way around, so it was dripping water. And so we had continuous water for like 6 weeks. It was awful. They just got that fixed week before last, I think, or last week. Um, but it it's slowly, and that's why we picked Grand Design, because they have a 3-year warranty and they will fix anything. Other campers, if you buy them and things are messed up, that's just your problem. Grand Design is really good at working with you, and our dealership, um, you know, is working with us. It's been a problem because of Corona going on. The factories were closed that build them, and then where they get their parts, because like each component, it's from another factory, and so we've been struggling with those issues, but it's not Grand Design's fault, or we bought it at Cookville RV in Cookville, Tennessee. It's not their fault. It's just Corona right now has made everything run backwards than it would normally. But it'll all get worked out. It'll get fixed. May not get all fixed this time, but slowly but surely. Yeah, because you want to fix a house up, and you're good at fixing homes up, Bella. So, restoring and redoing, that's going to be fun watching if you share it with us, because you're really good at it. I'm reading comments as I talk. Sorry. Yeah, and I love Susan's condo. I get tickled at you right now, how you're like, talk about how you don't like something and you're making it do till you can move. I get tickled at you, especially like your fireplace panel. That when you did that one video about it, I got tickled because I thought, yeah, Bella wants to rip that thing out and redo it, but she knows she's not going to because she's moving. Yes, Bella, I agree with Susan. It is, and I think a lot of that is because interest rates have fallen, so people that were hesitant about moving forward and purchasing are now willing to purchase with the interest rates as low as they are. And then I think a lot of people too who have become unemployed would rather sell their home than lose their home. That's funny, Bill. I know you are not happy there. It's pretty. Just to look at, but the structure issues and finishes and all that stuff. That's so sad. Oh, wow. Now you said you are building now, Bev, in place of buying a pre-existing. Well, I think I'm in Virginia too. It's, Washington employs so many people, but it's so expensive to live in Washington that a lot of people do live in Virginia. Okay. Well, I know you'll have fun. I know when we built our home, uh, 30 years ago. God, that sounds crazy. No, 25 years ago. I loved, decorating and having a new canvas to work with. It was a lot of fun. This hair is just crazy. Blue Fly, do me a favor. I think, did I give you my phone number? Well, I did, obviously, if you called me. Text me because I really don't know where to go look for your number right off the top of my head. I think it's in the email, but I'd have to scroll through my emails. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like the Metro Rail from, we were in Newark, and we take the Metro over to New York. It was pretty fun. Actually, his hotel, or his extended stay hotel, was right by the tram and all. Yes. I remember my dad when my natural father was alive. We lived in Chicago for a time, and he would take the train in, and I remember as a little girl, us driving him to the train station, and then him taking the train into downtown Chicago for work. And it does save you driving. And you can, I mean, not totally relax while you're on the train, but you can relax and not be as tense driving. Hmm. Yeah, I bet you're right, Bella. I hadn't thought about that. Until you're moving to an area, you don't really pay attention as much. I mean, you kind of have a vague idea, but then of course you get so deep into research moving to that area um, that you learn, so much more than you ever would have normally. Um, but I can see where Virginia and Washington D.C. and all would be expensive. Hi, Johnny's Journey. How are you tonight? Yes, Gloria, the path. Thank you. I used to have a little book or a little card or something. I've packed all that stuff into a, a box. Okay. Yeah, so that'll definitely make it easier for him, Bev. I'm doing great. Um, I think everybody on here is doing pretty good. As far as I know, we're all healthy. We're not. None of us have got the virus or have had it. So in that aspect, we're blessed and doing good. Well, I can't wait to see your new home, Bev. I'm happy for you. Hey, Bella, you could go down there and build it for her. You could come here in America on a work visa. Yeah, we're talking about homes and the cost of homes in Virginia and Washington and New Jersey and up in the northern states, northeast states, I should say. Oh, right now you have that, Beverly? Well, you need to share it. Well, you definitely need to share it with us. So you need to go through and video every room in your home and what you've done to it right now. One, so that you have it for history of where you had lived. And then two, if there's something that you really loved how you did, you can look back on the video and remember, oh yeah, I had that chair next to that lamp, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you live in upstate New York? Okay. We're in a 41 and a half fifth wheel, but we're in Kentucky right now. But we're full time RVers. So we're fixing to move on. Did Liz get on? Oh, hi, Liz. Welcome. How are you tonight? Boy, aren't you cold, Johnny? In upstate New York? Whew. I can't imagine being that far up living in a camper. I've got to get on and watch. I'm so far behind. I am so far behind. It looks like you're going to get a new neighbor. I was saying that you and Beverly need to get together. A 661 camper. I don't know what that is, Johnny. Are you serious, Bella? Is that hot? It's just going to be 85 here Friday. If y'all hear weird noises behind me, it's Jazzy snoring. He's out cold. Oh, wow, Bella. Yeah, I've been watching that. That just, all that stuff scares me. Yeah, right now, tonight, well, I think at some point it's going to down to 56 in the evening or during the night. But we just had so much rain. I am so tired of rain. But it's supposed to be really pretty this weekend. So that's good with us having to move the camper. I'm glad that we'll be traveling in sunshine in place of rain. Okay, Johnny, I'm sorry. I didn't understand you. I got you. That's what I was telling her, Liz, that you two would have to get together. Because y'all will be neighbors now. Well, when you go see your daughter, Gloria, you can swing by there. Well, I think Liz and Bev are going to have to get on the phone and talk to each other now. And yeah, Bev, Liz could give you a lot of information that you're wanting to know about up there. Because you've been there a while, haven't you, Liz? Well, that'll be fun. You two will have so much fun. When you all get to meet up, you got to do a video so that we can see you both together and share in your little ventures. Meetups are a lot of fun. I mean, I've loved meeting up with Arlen and with Danielle and all, and Linda, and it was just a blast. Well, Beverly, you just turn backwards. Have your back and have Liz forward, and y'all can have a conversation, and you can still be on camera, but not your face seen. Oh, don't let people forget what people think. I don't know. I need to call Linda or call Danielle. I'm doing good. We're taking our camper back to the place we bought it to have repairs done on it. So we're doing that this weekend, or Monday, and we're moving all of our stuff. We're leaving our current location. We've been here a year, and his job is over, and so we're moving on to the next job. And but I've brought so much stuff up here. I got storage buildings, and I've got to get all that moved back to where we're from. And then we got to take the camper. Well, you just have to have a pit stop, Gloria. So you stop there and catch another plane the next day, and then fly on to your daughter's. Yeah, his job ends the 31st. And then he goes on. We haven't decided. He could go on to work next week, but we've kind of been thinking about taking a little time off for vacation. I think I think. We don't have the finalization on it, but I think we're going to Ohio. So, but that'll be a good thing because if we go where uh, the two companies that he's been talking with, if we go where they're wanting him, we will only be like 45 minutes from our youngest son, and he and his wife are expecting the baby in October. So that could be nice. We'll be there for the birth. It's a little girl, so we get to see. Let's see, Bella. Oh, I'm so sorry. I get indigestion. I apologize. You'll have to come and see us when you see your cousin. But we'll be right by Cincinnati. If I don't know, he has several prospects, so we just don't know which one we're taking yet. That's one thing we've got to sit down and go over and figure out what we want to do. I keep teasing him that we need to go south, and he's just not getting the memo. But it's okay. I guess right now I don't want to go south with it being summer, but in the winter I definitely want to go south. But we've got a lot to do in the next week. But yeah, we are leaving South Central Kentucky Monday. So it's been nice. I mean, this is a great area. It's where the Corvettes are made, and it's part of the Bourbon Trails, not too far from here, Mammoth Cave, and there's lots and lots of things to do. Corona kind of put a halt on being able to do anything. I mean, I have wanted to travel, and so with this lifestyle, we can have our home with us, not have to be staying in hotels, and I'm partly germophobic, so it's nice that I know my toilet is my toilet and nobody else's. Just silliness like that, but so it's nice that our house goes with us, and we can go anywhere we want, and that's the nice thing. That's why before we were limited because we had our house, plus we had the camper, and he was traveling in the camper, but I was staying home. And just finally we realized this is stupid, that I'm home by myself. Our kids are grown, and there was no need to keep the house. We didn't need it anymore, and so we got rid of the house and got this bigger camper, and we're happy. Yeah, we hope to. And he's only got just let's see, about 5 years, 7 years, something like that. And then he'll retire. And then we're just going to go, hey Davita, how are you, girl? I got my hair did yesterday, but they couldn't. It was so weird. They couldn't blow dry it. You had to sit there with a mask on, and he could color it and wash the color out. He could cut it, but he couldn't blow dry it or anything. Oh, thank you, Liz. I'm excited. I mean, I'm gonna miss here. I've made friends here. I'll miss them, but at the same stroke, I'm ready for a new adventure. So it's gonna be fun. Oh wow, you got a bunch off. I've got to go watch your video, Davida. I haven't seen your puppy yet. What kind did you get? I think we're going to Ohio. That's where we're kind of leaning. We've had offers in Ohio, North Carolina, and I forgot where the other place is, but we're kind of leaning towards Ohio just because we'll be close to our son when our new grandbaby's born. Yeah, because the air from the blow dryer could spread the corona. But like when I pulled up, I couldn't go in. I had to text them that I was there. Then they came out and there was a waiver, that I wouldn't hold them responsible if I got corona from being there. They had to take my temperature. I had to have a mask on. They did my hair, did my eyebrows, and then I came home with a wet head. And it felt weird driving down the road with a wet head, but I was just thankful to get it done. Yeah, but I would much rather them do that than not be able to get my hair done. And I mean, I know I'm okay, and so I'm just thankful that they're protecting me and they're protecting other people. Now, another lady here that I'm friends with, her beauty shop, they won't wash your hair at all. They'll cut your hair. And we were talking about it the other night. We were like, okay, if they don't wash your hair, then how do they color your hair? Because you've got to rinse the color out. And we don't know how they're doing that, but she was just able to get a haircut. She wasn't able to have her hair washed or anything. What is your puppy's name? Well, that's the nice thing, Susan. With some blonde in there, it doesn't show quite as bad. Being dark-headed, really, and no blonde highlights, the grays would show really bad, but having the blonde in there kind of hides them a little bit. Oh, you named her Angie. How cute. How cute. I'll have to go on. I'm assuming you have a video up for everybody to be saying how cute she is. So I'm going to have to go back and look at it. I've got to get caught up. I haven't had time to look at anything. With all the moves and the kids up here and everything going on, it's just been crazy this last week. And I'm hoping to do how I prepare to move video tomorrow and Friday. And I'll have it up next week. So you'll get to see the camper. And you'll get to see me tear the camper apart in place of. Actually, we tried to do the video, and it was a total fail. My husband was filming, and I was trying to explain, and we got laughing, and he got in the mirrors, and it was just. Finally, I just said, forget it. And I kept the very, very intro. That's it. And so that'll be on my video. But the rest of it was it was a hot mess. So I ended up deleting like almost all of my video. But you at least get to see it. You'll just see me tearing it apart in place of putting it back together. But then you'll get to watch me put it back together. So it was funny. The owner of this campground, she came and we were putting stuff in what they call the garage area of our camper, and she looks and she said, "Oh, my goodness, you have quite a bit of decor in there." And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "You still have decor in the house?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she said, "Well, you got lots of pretties for camping." I just thought, oh, I know I've got to sound like I'm just insane that I'm sitting here decorating the camper up when most people just use it as a camper. But okay, who are you? Okay, Davita, what is going on with Hobby Lobby? We were in a big discussion of this earlier. Oh, Susan, you have a great night. And I'm so glad you joined us. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, Davita, is Hobby Lobby closing? Like permanently closing, or is it just closing because of Corona and going to reopen? Because the article I read sounded like they were closing permanently. Yay, Davita! Oh, I'm so happy you go back to work. Oh, thank you, Susan. I don't feel like I do much, but I love it. Yeah, and I hope you have sweet dreams. Well, you're right, Bella. You're right. But why did it pop up on my Google feed yesterday. I don't understand that. I mean, I was like, what? I about panicked. I don't know what I've done to my head, but I've done something. Got an age spot coming up there, I think. Hate getting old. We have made. Wow. That's awesome. Well, I know when I went online to try to order some placemats, they were available one like one day, and then like 3 days later they were gone. And I was like, oh, is it, when I read that article, I was like, does that mean that they're getting rid of everything? um I got it, Bella. I got it. I'm glad now I can go tell my friend, because she was like having a meltdown, because that is like her favorite place to go. So I'm gonna have to go tell her tomorrow that they are not closing. You can see here in Kentucky, in Kentucky, stores, the malls open back up, and that kind of stuff. So Hobby Lobby is probably open here. Wow. I bet a lot of people want to get fabric for face masks. So now, are you going back still just one day a week, or are you going to go back for longer, or what are your plans, Davita? I started to call you Bella. I'll be okay. You don't have Hobby Lobby in Canada, do you, Bella? Okay, just 2 days. So Thursday is one of the days, correct? I want to say you work Thursdays and Saturdays, if I remember right. Yeah, got it. Score. I got something right. Yay. Oh, I have done some of the dumbest stuff. I mean, stupid stuff like walking and trip over my rug, roll my rug as I'm walking. I mean, my husband's just been laughing at me. He's like, slow down. I'm like, I got to get it done. And he's just laughing at me. But I've been a real blonde. Okay, so your Hobby Lobby is still closed. I don't know if ours is or not. Ours shouldn't be. I wouldn't think. But then Yankee Candle, that's in the mall, they're not opening up yet here in Kentucky. They said they were going to be closed another week, 2 weeks, something like that, before they were going to open back up. So Debbie was telling me that tonight. So I don't know if Hobby Lobby is actually open here or not. It can open, but it's going to be at fewer people. Like, I think it's 10 to a store or something like that. I can't remember what the rules were, but the governor set the rules. And they're asking everybody to wear face masks, but that is a personal decision. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I feel like some of these people, they're damned if they don't close things down, and then they're damned if they do. And I think you're going to have people on either side that they either did right or they did wrong. I just know I'm thankful I wasn't the one having to make the decision to shut things down or lay people off or any of that. I can't say I enjoyed any of it, having quarantined yourself and all that stuff. But I thank God that I didn't have to make those decisions. Huh. And I pray for Trump because, man, the pressure. Uh, I haven't known a president have to be under that much pressure other than us going to war or something, and that's been a long time ago now that our president has had to be under that pressure, and he's on everybody's radar, and everyone's using it for target practice, and I feel sorry for him. I guarantee that wasn't what he signed up for, but I think he's doing a good job. He's trying to protect us, and I'd rather him protect us than not care. Yeah, I've wondered that, Bella. You know, I do, and I feel sorry for his wife. Can you imagine trying to be married to somebody who's got that much pressure on them, and still um, still show you that he loves you and still be a husband? You know, I just think, phew, I hope she's standing by him and supporting him every step of the way. Let's say poor president has been. He has, Gloria. From the litigations and all that stuff. I think he's probably one of the presidents that's had more pressure on him in his presidency than anyone, and and isn't taking a dime for it. That's the other part. People forget he's doing this because he loves our country, um, not for pay, and people forget that. So I don't know. We just got to pray for our leaders that God will help direct them to do the right thing. Um, I think that's about all we can do right now. That's the only control we do have. Um, Other than that, we just got to try to obey the rules. Well, thank you, Liz. I think that's it. Um, it's in the Bible that things are going to be happening, and you see the things happening. If you know anything about the Bible, if you wake up and smell the coffee, God is showing his power. He's allowing. I'm not going to say he's creating, but he is allowing earthquakes and flooding and just horrific things to be happening in the midst of this pandemic. And I really think if you aren't right with the Lord right now, you better get yourself right with the Lord, because things are happening, and the Bible says things will happen. You won't be able to tell the time of the year. You won't be able to understand things, and that's exactly where we are right now. You know, there's so many areas that would there's snow on Easter where there's never snow on Easter. Just so many things have happened. I don't know. I'm just glad I'm right with the Lord. That's all I know, and that my children are, and my grandchildren that are old enough to have actually accepted Him. But I don't know. We just need to pray for our nation, for sure. But well, guys, I am going to. We're supposed to be watchers. Watch. Yeah, Liz, I think you're right. And people aren't going to know to watch for the signs if they aren't aware what they are. And that's where we do. Revelations is a very confusing book, but if you actually get in there and read it and research what you don't understand, um, it tells what's going on. It tells it right now. And you all have been sitting here talking about different governors, and I've gotten kind of tickled because I think, are those, what is it, the six-headed beast? Are those parts, are each one of those people part of the head of the beast? We don't know, and I don't think we're supposed to totally know, but it does make you think. You know, yes, Bev, I think you're exactly right. And the sad part is the people who aren't stopping and thinking and reflecting. It's sad. It's sad. I sit here and I think everyone wants to be angry, But right now we need to pull together as a nation. And it's happening in some areas, but it's not in others. I sat here and watched the other day, Memorial Day weekend, in, I think it was Branson. I think it was Branson or Lake of the Ozarks one. There was like 1,000 people in the swimming pool and around the pool area. And none of them had face masks. None of them had anything to protect them. And I'm just like, wow, with Arkansas being hit so hard and it being right there on the border, I know people that traveled, and I'm just like, goodness, it's scary, But the only good thing is, like I've said, God's not going to take me 1 minute before He's ready for me. And when He takes me, I know where I'm going. So I don't want to die right now, but if I do die, I'm okay with that. Be it corona or cancer or whatever, or just natural causes. I'm okay any way I go. I know you don't, Bella. But the face masks confuse me because they keep you from spreading it to somebody else. But I don't see how it protects you. I haven't figured that part out yet. Yep, you're right, Bella. Yeah, I really think you're right, Bev. That we are to reflect right now, and I hope many are saved. I don't know. You've got to trust God. That's just all I know is pray and trust God and do what you're supposed to do, because that's all we can do right now. I mean, we're a peon among peons, but we do know what the word says, and we do know our Heavenly Father. So we've just got to cling to Him right now, and hopefully we can lead somebody else to Him that doesn't cling to Him right now. As my grandma used to say, we may be the only Bible a person ever reads, and by our actions and our deeds, if we're going to call ourselves a Christian, we need to show we're a Christian. And I truly believe she was right, So that's just my thoughts, my opinions, for what they're worth. But I don't know. Well, hun, I need to get off of here. I'm gonna kill my my data. If we get to Ohio, at least I'll have internet, so that's exciting. I won't be running on my data for a little bit, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, we've been on here 2 hours and 14 minutes already, so I probably need to get off before I kill it for next week. But you all have a great week. I will watch everyone's videos and try to get caught back up. Oh, you're welcome, Bella. I love you, girl. I love all of you. I mean, each one of you have a special place in my heart. It's just amazing how God has brought us all together, and we all live all across the continent, but we're together, and I think that's really cool. But I love you all. You all take care. I'll catch you next Wednesday. Be looking for my videos on how I'm getting ready to move this thing. This is our first time really moving it, so it's going to be interesting. I haven't done any prep, because when we moved campers, I just packed everything in boxes and set it in storage and then moved it in. This time we're actually moving with the stuff in here, so it's going to be kind of different. Well, I love you all. Oh, thank you, Bella. I mean, Davida. Well, thank all of you. I appreciate your kind words. It means a lot. I love you, and I'll talk to you in the next week, I guess. Y'all have a great night and a great remainder of the week and a fabulous weekend. Bye.